Welcome to the Injury to Recovery YouTube channel. My name is Greg, and this is Blaine, and this week I have a question for Blaine, and we're going to see what we can find out for it. So the question I have for Blaine is, I'm a normal human being in the United States. I spend a lot of time on my cell phone, and unfortunately that causes me to have really poor posture. And so I'm going to turn this way, and you can kind of see this is the posture that everybody has. What's your concern, and how do you help somebody that might have neck pain from that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And neck pain is very common in the population, and it can happen from like being on your phone or on your laptop computer too much. It's hard to correlate it completely with posture because a lot of people have really poor posture, but they don't have neck pain, and some people have really good posture and they do have neck pain, and so it's a little bit complex. But yeah, in this video we'll talk a little bit about so kind of some postural related neck pain, or people who are maybe stuck in a position. We see patients with, like, for example, dental hygienists or dentists, and they're kind of working like this all day long for really prolonged periods. And so this video will include some good suggestions and techniques on how to combat that pain.
As we were preparing for this, we also realized that neck pain can also come from more traumatic things. So in the event of an accident, you get whiplash and things like that. And after discussing this, these exercises will be the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, we approach, like, a traumatic whiplash injury is approached slightly differently than someone who has, a postural type neck pain. But a lot of the exercises there is some carryover, so we'll talk about some suggestions for each.
Yeah, so we'll have a video for both of these, and you'll see a video for postural issues, and then also a video for issues if somebody has some sort of traumatic issue as well. And this might be one that we post both in the same week, just so that anybody who might be interested could see both of them. So anyway, anything else we need to think about as we prepare for this?
I think we can jump in and talk about some exercises and some things that will help combat neck pain a little bit.
Okay, let's go.
So if you have neck pain, and say you're the type of person that's looking at a laptop for several hours a day because of your work, or if you're a dental hygienist and you're bent over working on people's teeth all day long, then that can often cause some neck pain. We often see people have quite strong muscles in the back of their neck because they have to hold their head in that position, but the muscles in the front are kind of weak. So we'll show you some stretches that can help alleviate it, and then we'll also show some ways to strengthen the muscles in the front. So the first stretch is just a rotation stretch. And so for this one, I like to have people put one hand behind their head, the other hand on the front on their chin, and just rotate sideways and give that some gentle overpressure. And by using your hands, you can kind of push it a little bit further than what you can normally do without your hands. And so when you do this, you want to count out a nice slow 20 seconds on each side. And you don't need to torture yourself, because a lot of times if you do have neck pain, if you turn too far, it will kind of hurt. So you can push into some discomfort, but don't push so hard that you blow up your pain to where it's out of control. So about 20 seconds on each side. Do that one a couple times a day, and that helps to maintain neck range of motion.
So one of the things that I think about with this is, if you do have this, you're constantly looking down, you might have a posture issue. Do you need to make sure that your neck is as straight as possible when you're doing this?
So the best posture is a kind of a dynamic, constantly moving posture. And so it's not necessarily bad to be looking down. Your neck is engineered to be able to do that. The principle to understand is that it's just not good to be stuck in a certain posture for a long period of time. So I don't really want to say there's a bad posture or a good posture. There's just the best posture is a posture that's constantly moving. And so people can manage that by, elevating the height of your computer screen, or try to minimizing holding your cell phone for too long in one position. It's hard if you're like a dental hygienist, because you're kind of stuck in that position for several hours a day.
Yeah, you've got the mouth right there. You have to spend your time on it.
You have to do it, yeah. But try to keep things moving.
Okay.
So the next exercise is just a side flexion, kind of an upper trap stretch. So you put one hand behind your back, and then the other hand up on top of your head, and you just pull your head to the side, and you should feel a pretty good stretch up the side of your neck and your upper traps there, just above your shoulders. And I would recommend the same parameters here. Hold it for about 20 seconds on each side and do it a couple times a day. And this one usually feels pretty good.
When I'm doing stretches like these, does the 20 seconds have to be all at the same time, or can you do like 5 seconds, 10 seconds at a time?
Yeah, you can break it up. That's a good question, and there's really not a lot of research that indicates like what's the proper amount of time to stretch. There's not strong evidence that says that one time is better than another one, but breaking it up is just fine.
And don't yank it too hard, because these are some pretty, it's easy to pull pretty hard on these muscles with your arms, I would imagine, right?
It is, yeah. So kind of use your common sense. So the next exercise, this is a really good one for posture. And so I'm going to have you turn 90 degrees so that you're perpendicular to the camera. And this one's called a chin tuck. So you put your hand on your chin and you just kind of tuck your chin in, and you can use your hand to kind of push it back. And this one, you can hold it, or I'll usually recommend people just kind of go in and out into a neck protraction and retraction, and just kind of slowly push back and hold that chin tuck for a couple seconds and go in and out. And you'll usually feel a pretty good stretch kind of here, right through in here, yeah. And so a lot of people with neck pain find this to be quite challenging and quite painful when they initially start doing it. And then they do it for a couple weeks and it gets easier and it alleviates a lot of their pain. And so if you have headaches associated with your neck pain, this is a great way to combat that and help manage those headaches.
Nice.
So chin tucks are a bread and butter exercise if you have, neck pain from postural ergonomic issues.
Sounds good.
So we showed you some good neck stretches, and we're going to advance now to some more strengthening and stability exercises. And so this first one is actually an isometric. And so this is going to strengthen the deep neck flexors in the front of your neck. And so the way you'll do it is you're just going to tuck your chin in a little bit, and you just barely lift your head up a tiny bit off the bed, just a half inch or so. And while this might look kind of easy, it's actually quite challenging. And you can probably feel those muscles in the front of your neck,
right here,
quivering and kind of struggling to hold your head up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason this is challenging is because there's often an imbalance. So if you're holding a posture, which a lot of people do, where you're looking down a lot, then the muscles in the back of your neck are probably quite strong, and there's probably an imbalance where the muscles in the front of your neck are kind of weak. And so this is an antagonist exercise where you're going to strengthen the front of your neck muscles that support your head better, and will help to balance out that imbalance that you may have that might be causing the neck pain. So for this next exercise, and just make sure that the bed's not like pinching you up in your armpit too much.
No.
But you're going to just keep your head facing straight forward, and you're just going to lift your ear up towards your shoulder, and then let your opposite ear drop down towards your other shoulder. So it kind of stretches you when you go down, and then when you pull up, it strengthens the opposite side. And you can really go ear to shoulder on one side, and ear to shoulder on the other side. And so this one's not quite as hard as the last one we showed you, but it strengthens those lateral neck muscles pretty good. Also, this is a slightly unrelated topic, but this is a really good exercise for people trying to prevent concussions, because having a strong neck is important to prevent concussions for like football players. And if you've had a concussion, this is a concussion rehab exercise. So for the next couple exercises, these exercises actually target a little bit more your thoracic spine, which is your mid-back. And we often find that people with neck pain have issues further down in their thoracic spine. So having a good mobile thoracic spine is important for a lot of cases of neck pain. So this first one is called thread the needle. And so you're going to be on all fours like Greg is demonstrating. And you reach one arm through like so and drop your shoulder down to the bed. And you reach it all the way up and kind of turn and look at your hand as it goes up towards the air. And this puts quite a twist in your mid-back and really stretches those ribs out a little bit. And this is a great thoracic mobility exercise that can help set up a good foundation to not have neck pain. It also strengthens those muscles between your shoulder blades to kind of improve posture and pull those shoulder blades together so you don't get too tight and kind of that forward shoulder posture that a lot of people have. So you feel it right there?
It actually feels good.
That one does feel good. People like that one.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but it's a good exercise. So the next one is called a cat-camel, or some people call it a cat-dog stretch. So you're going to be on all fours, and you're going to arch your mid-back up like a camel has a hump. And you arch that up, and then you drop it all the way down, and then kind of look up as you drop it down. So some people also call it the angry cat stretch, because it's like a cat arches its back when it's angry or scared.
Do some hissing or something like that.
Yeah. So if you can imagine you have x-ray vision and you're looking at Greg's spine, you want your spine to kind of be oscillating between a convex and a concave motion as it goes up, back and forth. So this is this one hits your thoracic and your cervical spine, your neck.
Yeah, that one feels pretty good too.
So for this last exercise, we'll do in front of the lovely bathroom door. And if you look closely, you can see the lovely toilet in the background. But this is a doorway stretch that stretches out.
This is a low-budget film, okay?
Everyone has a doorway though, so anyone can do this. But all you need is a doorway, and you're going to put your hands up just above your head and you step forward, and that stretches out your pectoral muscles in your chest. And most people like this exercise because it feels kind of good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this feels really good.
And the good thing about this one is you can kind of do it like every time you step in the restroom, or every time you step in or out of your office. You can just put your hands up on the door frame and step in and hold that for a few seconds and give your pectoral muscles a good deep stretch.
This one also pinches your shoulder blades together too, and that feels pretty good too if you've hunched over a lot.
So for this last exercise, this is called resisted horizontal abduction. And so he's using a fairly stiff piece of elastic band there. You can start with a lighter one if you need to. But you hold your elbows straight the whole way through, and you stretch that band out. And as you're stretching the band, you squeeze your shoulder blades together. So this strengthens those muscles between your shoulder blades and kind of stretches out your pecs also as you pull back. So this is a great thoracic exercise, and it's one that we will often recommend to people who have neck pain.
Well, Blaine, thank you very much. All of those exercises, maybe I did have some issues with my back. That actually felt pretty good. So, exercises that you could use in order to improve your overall well-being, and in this case, working on the neck pain if you have some sort of issue with your neck pain.
Yeah, they're great for, posture correction type exercises, or really a lot of people that have neck pain, regardless of the source of the neck pain, are going to benefit from those exercises. That's a pretty good general overview of some good flexibility and stability exercises.
Nice. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time.
So,
yeah, that was a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, and that's a good exercise. I've had a lot of patients who have done that exercise and just had really good results alleviating their neck pain by doing that. It's one that you have to be consistent with for a couple of weeks before you start to get results, kind of like any strengthening exercise, but it works really well.
Nice.
Yeah. And so this next one is
I have to say, your wife, she should tell you, but you may not know, but you're pretty photogenic. It's pretty good to edit videos for you guys.